Hello, welcome to the third day of Women's History Month 2026. It is Tuesday, March 3rd, and I'm here with my duo partner.
I'm Allison Berger, and along with Amy, we are the Wurzburger Duo, and we've been performing together as a duo for about the past 10 years.
Yes, we have a few albums out. If you'd like to check those out, just let me know. All I'd like to say for now is that huge thanks to Classy Closet Consignment of Evanston for providing my wardrobe for today and a few other days coming up. So without further ado, we are now going to talk to the composer of the piece you just heard, Janika Vandervelde.
I started in a little town in Wisconsin, Green Lake, Wisconsin.
All right.
And then I went on to higher learning, in music in Minnesota, at the University of Minnesota.
Oh, you went to the University of Minnesota?
Where I got my PhD in music composition.
Oh, yeah. Nice. Yeah. Did you just stay in Minnesota ever since?
And then I stayed here. I got, I'm retired now, but I had a number of teaching gigs here. I was at Hamline University for 10 years teaching composition. I was a couple of years at the University of Minnesota teaching things like orchestration and music theory. And but and then I was also at the Perpich Center for the Arts, which is a statewide residential school for juniors and seniors in high school. And I taught composition there for 25 years.
Wow, that's incredible.
Just as a part-time thing, but that was my dream job. I just loved that job.
What does retirement look like for you? Are you writing a lot of music?
Well, I'm doing, I recently developed this whole new relationship to music through improvisation. I didn't think I could improvise. I never thought of myself as an improviser, that I always had to have the notes in front of me, and so, but now that's all I want to do is improvisation. So the Pavane was instigated by this woman that I knew at the time, Linda Heschler. Linda was head of the American Composers Forum for many years. She took that organization from being just a local organization to being a national organization with a much larger budget. And it was kind of the heyday of the organization. She's now retired, and her husband, when he was dying, she wanted to commission a piece that could be done at his memorial service. This was before he had passed away, but they knew he was passing. So she asked if I would do specifically a pavane, she called it a pavane, for either solo cello or cello and piano. And so the idea of the piano having an important role initially was not part of my thinking about the piece. But, I had this experience that was very interesting. I had driven early in the morning to the grocery store of the Mississippi Market, and I was in the parking lot waiting for it to open. And all of a sudden, I felt the pavane was like all around me. It was kind of like this entity. And it was saying, we're ready to go. Almost like it was already written. And I was like, what? So that day I actually drove home and I got on my iPhone, I pressed record, and I just started playing. And this was also the beginning of my change to thinking I might be able to do some improvisation. This was the beginning of that whole thing.
Wow.
And I just started to play, and this theme emerged. And I stopped and I listened to it and I went, oh, that's interesting. And it was kind of traditional. And it was this kind of slow, stately music. And then each day I would come and sit down and play, and that theme just kept emerging as the theme. It didn't change much. And so I actually wrote the whole piano part before I even thought about the cello. I mean, I wrote it as a piano piece, but I had this odd experience of where I would start to play it and it would keep getting faster and faster. And pretty soon I'm playing the piece at twice the tempo that it really should be for Pavane. And I thought, what's going on? And then I'd stop and I'd start over. And later, what I realized was it's the cello. The cello is now waiting to come into the piece. so so then I wrote the cello part, and that stabilized that whole thing with the tempo.
Interesting.
And later I, discovered that the cello is Jack, because then he passed away, and maybe a month later he passed away, and the cello was his devotion to her. So it became the Pavane a love story. So it was not about her wanting to pay tribute to him. It was the two of them paying tribute to each other. And the cello was really Jack, and the piano was Linda, and
So I have
their relationship.